Kobbie Mainoo has gone from utterly unused under Amorim to transforming Man United midfield under Mikel Carrick. I'll be breaking down why Man United's midfield was broken without Kobbie Mainoo, how Carrick instantly fixed their structure, and why Kobbie Mainoo is not just playing well, he's improving every single Man United player on the pitch. So, what exactly has Mikel Carrick changed to make the midfielder thrive once more? Well, to begin, I think we need to understand the huge midfield problems that were at Man United before Carrick took charge. Within Amorim's 3-4-3, you had Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro. That's what made up the midfield partnership. Now, often they were defending in a 5-2-3, and that midfield duo, or pairing if you will, were vulnerable to overloads, frequently creating 3 versus 2 or 4 versus 2 situations. Look at how Fulham easily manipulated the disconnected and stretched midfield here to progress with their 3 versus 2 overload. And this kind of sequence, it was a regular occurrence under Amorim. Just look here where Fernandes and Casemiro had no hope dealing with the overload that eventually sees Iwobi get free. And making Fernandes kind of squash into this Amorim system as opposed to playing him in his preferred 10 slot certainly lessened the team's defensive solidity. In this instance, Fulham exploit Fernandes being in no man's land as Lukic peels off the back of him to surge in behind. Now, with Fulham in possession here, Fernandes seems to have Smith Rowe under control, but he then turns and completely misses Smith Rowe's run in behind, which sees him punish Man United and score. And many teams exploited it. Their rivals, Man City, showed no mercy here either, as Doku got between the lines behind the disconnected midfield, and it leads to a goal. On the flanks, the opponents pinned Man United's wing-backs wide as well, and that prevented them from stepping into midfield. So this removed any kind of extra support, and it left the central pair just utterly isolated. Simply put, under Amorim, the midfielders, they were locked into rigid zones. With little rotations or movement, this made them predictable. And in the Premier League, the best league in the world, you need movement. You kind of need rotations to make life difficult for defences. Now, on the ball, Amorim's preset passing patterns, yep, that's right, more alliteration, only made things worse. Their pass connection map against Arsenal, it highlighted the lack of connections. They regularly bypassed their midfield and they weren't adaptable. So when Carrick comes in, and of course, one of his first games is against Arsenal, what exactly has he done to change and to fix these problems? Well, firstly, he shifted to a 4-2-3-1 and simply played into the players' strengths that he had on the pitch. And that's where Kobbie Mainoo comes into it, because he wasn't playing, first and foremost. And so Mainoo and Casemiro now make up this new midfield partnership, with Bruno in his preferred attacking midfield position. Have a look at Bruno's typical heat map here under Amorim. It's mainly deep in his own half. And I think what we've learned with Bruno over the last year is, yes, he's pretty complete in terms of the energy, the stamina, the passing ability, his ability to get around the pitch. But ultimately, his greatest super strength is his vision and his ability to create. And that's why his numbers are so high. So now it makes sense, but you have a look at this under Carrick. Bruno, pushing high, moving everywhere within that final third. So utilising the stamina, but also utilising his footballing IQ and giving him the freedom to get on the ball and create. That healthy dollop of relational approach from Carrick, it has transformed how Man United connect across the pitch. And it's perfect for Kobbie Mainoo, and he's purring in this role. Carrick's idea sees the team positioned within close proximity to move the ball cleanly and coherently. Not all players can do this. Not all players can feel comfortable with players tight around them, not just their own, but the opposition as well. And it's in these tight spaces where Kobbie Mainoo just thrives. They're fluid, harder to play against, and they are far less predictable now under Carrick. And Mainoo, although he's part of that double pivot, Mainoo now has the freedom to drift wide, despite being in that double pivot. Sorry. With Mbeumo, Fernandes, Cunha and Ahmad all around him, Man United can occupy dangerous areas or actually suck the opposition into and bait them into kind of areas that don't feel dangerous, that then lead to the creation of space and opening passing lanes and other areas of the pitch. And their average position map illustrates this pretty well, in my opinion. You got Mainoo slightly ahead of Casemiro in midfield, which suits Casemiro as well. And ahead of him, look at those close connections among the attacking unit. And they use the ball as a reference point to get really close together. And this is fun to watch, but crucially, the structure provides the platform to combine quickly and to progress attacks, which suits the players in this Man United team. There's clear purpose and intent to rapidly get up the pitch and open passing lanes with the options available in all directions. And this compact positioning, it allows them to execute crisp rotations and to manipulate opposition's back lines. Have a look at Mbeumo and Fernandes here, the switch to confuse that Fulham back line so Mbeumo can get in behind unimpeded. And it's such a shame he's got injured, but those slick rotations were vital ahead of Dorgu's goal against Man City. Here, Amad and Cunha switch roles, which gives Cunha the separation to receive before brilliantly driving ahead and ultimately finding Dorgu, who scores the goal. Under Carrick, we're seeing this Man United team often tilt to one side, opening up space on the opposition flank. And that's where Mainoo's passing quality now comes in to switch the play. So with Man United initially populating the left side, it frees up Ahmed on the right. And Mainoo plays a perfect long ball for him. Something that people don't talk about with Mainoo actually is that, it's that long range passing range, or the overall passing range is there. The variety is there. Now, with one fullback usually staying deeper, this has given them some extra balance as well. Build up support and structural security when they lose the ball. And their pass map against Fulham, it shows this, with Dalot notably deeper than Luke Shaw. The fullback's deeper positioning, it draws the opposition out, creating more passing lanes into the pockets for Martinez here to exploit and then facilitate their overload between the lines. Now, this is important. Defensively, their 4-4-2 base sees Mainoo partner Casemiro, with Bruno pushing up next to Mbeumo. And that's giving them a really sound base to press high and win the ball back high. And this, against Spurs, shows how fruitful it can be. Fernandes angles his press towards Vicario while blocking the passing lane to Sarr. And this means that Mainoo and Casemiro don't need to overcommit. And this helps them get a head start running back to help them with the situation when it comes to the second ball. And when they drop back into their 4-4-2 block, this is where Mainoo benefits once again. Because one question mark about Kobbie Mainoo, and I've said it myself, is his kind of overall dynamism or athleticism in terms of getting across the pitch. But with this mid-block, they sit off to cut passing lanes into midfield and then press aggressively at the right moments. And that ensures better balance, support, and defensive cover overall. And that same compactness, it's crucial in transition because their connected attacking shape, it means that they can counter-press immediately if they lose the ball. But this is crucial. At the core of everything Carrick is doing here, Mainoo is the one for me. He's the one elevating. Not just himself, because actually I'm not sure he is elevating himself. I feel like he's kind of right where he should be, and it's lovely to see. But he is elevating every player around him. This is his heat map against Spurs. You can see he's integral to drive his team up the pitch, pushing into the opposition's half. He's key towards Man United beating the press. Look how he initially drops deep here to form an overload to beat the first line of pressure. Composed, technically assured. It's superb how he protects the ball and then finds Casemiro. And he pushes up as the attack progresses to create a 3 versus 2 in midfield just seconds later. Martinez finds him and Mainoo then feeds Amad, who's 1v1 out wide, with Mainoo playing a crucial role in breaking Fulham's press. And that's allowing Casemiro to thrive because it's allowing him to be his best version. Get on the ball, play it simple. That allows him to grow confidence and comfortability. He doesn't feel exposed. He's not being asked to get around players, dribble past players. He's got a friend to help him. He's so intelligent and comfortable at going into those spaces and creating overloads. He uses that freedom of movement to unbalance Spurs as Man United tilt to the ball side. And it doesn't stop here because this then proves the catalyst for Casemiro to break the lines into Mbeumo. It's simple, but it's brutally effective. Mainoo is always on hand to move the ball quickly and unsettle opposition structures. Michael Carrick's teams demand possession. and he's been perfect for it. He allows them a terrific outlet. Man United use his smarts here brilliantly to draw in the press and expose Fulham. And his proficient scanning heightens that value that he brings, because you can see how he checks his blind side while moving between the lines. And he's not just scanning, he's utilising that information as well. And this means that he knows he can turn instantly into space as Seshko and Bruno are pinning two Fulham defenders. I love how he lets the ball roll to his right foot and then adjusts his body shape to get that extra separation away from the defender. It's so nice. And that's why people love watching him. Like details, calmness and composure, just all on point. And it's proving such an asset when helping wide attacks too. His infield support has made him a vital outlet. By getting the jump on his marker, he attacks the space and then drives Man United into the final third. His reading of the play is so clever here. He acts as the spare man to support Casemiro and exploit space behind the Fulham high press. And he knows the pressure's going to come. He's not bothered though, because look how he evades the heat of it all so calmly and plays a slick 1-2 with Ahmed to destroy and crumble that press. So the reason that Mainoo elevates every teammate, it comes down to one thing: that masterful movement. He's so aware of the space, he draws defenders to open gaps and passing lanes for his teammates. He drags out Gallagher here to create the space for Mbeumo to receive between the lines. It's so clever how he pins his tracker to pave the way for Casemiro here. Martinez can now punch a line breaker to the Brazilian, and United are off against an unbalanced defence. He occupies players really, really cleverly. It's strategic, and with United building from the back, that strategic occupation of Iwobi here helps ensure Casemiro can get free again. And this all makes Man United a much harder team to press while increasing their own threat at the same time. The best midfielders make your fullbacks look better. It's neat how Mainoo ventures infield and then draws Wilson across to perfectly open the lane to Luke Shaw. It's so simple, but it's so smart. On the ball, Mainoo has proven his worth, of course, too. Receiving in an extremely tight space here, he escapes pressure with two deliberate touches before releasing it just really cleanly. And as the move unfolds, he then makes himself available again after creating a 3 versus 2 and rotating with Delot. He then plays a quality through ball to the underlapping Delot, adding some flair and press resistance too. Have a look at the confidence that he's got here when he draws Gallagher, beats him with a little feint, and then pinpoints Casemiro between the lines with a no-look pass. It's saucy stuff. It would be really misleading, in my opinion, to miscast Mainoo as a luxury player, because this type of contribution is so pivotal, and it shows his tactical awareness and understanding with his teammates. That clean distribution, the way he switches the play, it allows Man United to isolate wide men in ideal conditions for them to thrive. And given that Man United under Carrick are overloading one side of the field, having midfielders that can do this, and not just that, do this with ease, is so important. With Diallo especially benefiting from Mainoo's service. And you can see from this pass map from the Spurs game, the type of positions that he gets into and the connections that he is forging. And his pass map against Fulham highlights this further, with the wide clusters showcasing Carrick's style. And with Mainoo thriving in midfield, he is exactly what they need as they drive into the top 4. And it's Carrick's Brazilian tactics that are at the heart of all of this success. If you want to see how he used them to break Arsenal, click here.